Shalom Akim, Kahalayim La Yahabashim Yashar, Bahashim Rakal Kodash, and double honors to the great and apostles, Thadi Al Thadi Yashar, for the strength and order to make this video, and Yaratazar, that you find this video edifying and exhorting as well. I just wanted to do a quick lesson, based on an idea. I got the idea for the lesson literally during camp, where, Yaratazar, I'm doing it right now, so should be a quick point. As I named it, from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. I won't play the clip, but it's from X-Men Apocalypse, when I believe Apocalypse himself, the first mutant, obviously for those, for brothers who are into the X-Men comics or the X-Men movies. In X-Men Apocalypse, Apocalypse made that same statement. It says, from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. And I believe nuclear missiles being sent was part of that destruction that he needed as well. Which, Yaratazar, the brother Kalab, he did mention this precept and of course broke it down. And that's literally what gave me the title lesson, the lesson of the title. From the ashes of their world. I'm talking about, Amalek over there. From the ashes there, we're going to build a better one. Not literally. Because of course, the point is that, they'll be destroyed and then they'll be cleaned up out of there. And then the rightful people, us, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, are going to be the ones to inhabit that land of Israel. But let me play it so that I can get the context right.
Into your actual reality. Now you're actually seeing the scriptures come to life as it was prophesied to happen. I've got a precept to back up for me. Yeah. This is Zechariah 9, starting at verse 5. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it and be very sorrowful. And Ekron, for her expectation, shall be ashamed. And the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. So that bastard that's dwelling in Ashdod is those small hats who are occupying.
Yeah, by the way, it's Ashdod when you actually go to the precept. In fact, just to clarify, I'm going to get, then I'm going to resume the video, so that because sometimes the captions don't, it ain't spelling the right, ain't giving the right spellings. This is Zechariah 9 verse 5. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it and be very sorrowful, and Ekron, for her expectation, shall be ashamed, and the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. So let me get back to the brother Kalab. And that's Zechariah 9 verse 5 to 6, by the way.
The scriptures come to life as it was prophesied. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it and be very sorrowful. And Ekron, for her expectation, shall be ashamed. And the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. So that bastard that's dwelling in Ashdod is those small hats who are occupying our land right now. So guess what? In order for us to be put back into that land, those I have to say it this way, those bastards have to be driven out, and that's part of what the Most High's purpose is for that whole area. Jerusalem's going to be completely destroyed with thermonuclear destruction, just as Babylon the Great is. But the difference is that Jerusalem will be built back up, but it's going to be inhabited by us once again. We're going to go home to our true land. Because right now we've been cast out of our land for all of the wicked deeds that we did. Because of our iniquities, the Most High cast us out, and the Israelites have been spread out to the four corners of the earth. So the whole point of Yahushua coming back is to gather together those elect that have been dispersed and to restore us into our holy land.
Yeah, man, that's the point right there, man. That's the point right there, bro. So literally, well, I say literally, but as you know, again, as I'm quoting it again from the X-Men movie, X-Men Apocalypse, from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. You know, if you go to the trailer, you should be able to see it, man. I might even play it quickly before I then come back to the video, even though I said I wasn't gonna play it. All right, let me get a preset first, and then we'll see what's up. This is Exodus 17 and verse 16. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh hath sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So of course that's the portion of which the Most High has has put upon Amalek. Hence why, you know, you got this US and Israel war against Iran, which of course that in itself is can be seen as a diversion tactic or as a strategy for a further agenda. You know, Yaratazar may even do another video about these energy lockdowns as well, which is something that's soon to come. You know, it can happen at any moment, really. They just declare, all right, start restricting how many hours you got to use electricity. I think certain places, maybe even South Korea, if I recall correctly. You know, they're trying to say, you know, reduce the shower times. The Philippines over there are also getting it hard too. But anyways, that's for another video. Yaratazar, I can get to that. But yeah, you know, at war with Amalek every generation, man. But they're not even, and of course, rightfully so, considering they're imposters. They're the ones who are not the real Israelites. You know, they call themselves Jews, but they're not. Speaking of, let's read this. Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I'll make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Because, behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So, of course, Amalek will be our servants in the kingdom of Yahushua. That's the point right there. That scripture proves it. Now, verse 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And, of course, Amalek and Edom, of course, they're the ones who are put in work in order to establish this beast system to enslave people. Right, so let's see what priest said. But that's really the point, you know. And as Kalab said, man, you know, them ones, the bastard in Ashdod is referring to them Amalekites, aka the so-called Jays, you know, over there, the small hats as they call them, or big hats. But sometimes, you know, you see them having big hats, but of course, if you see what's under the big hat, it's a small hat. anyways. So yeah, bastard shall dwell in Ashdod and will cut off the pride of the Philistines. So that bastard is referring to these so-called Jays, the imposters of our land, and they're going to be cleared out, man. And it's going to be turned to ashes. But then from there, they're going to clean it up. You know, we're going to have the heathens do some jobs there as well. It's going to be cleaned up. And then, again, from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. Yeah, let me just get the clip, and then if I can, then, you know, I'll just close it out from there. Yeah, I found a portion, so I'm going to just play it.
Everything they've built will fall, and from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one.
Yeah. Everything they've built will fall, and from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. Which, there was a lot of scriptural references here, obviously, you know, with you know, fictional twists as Esau Edom does, you know, but the point is, you know, when they were talking about the full horsemen of the apocalypse, which that in itself is a breakdown, by the way, you know, within Revelation, you know, but of course, again, with a fictional twist, man. But yeah, they got some inspiration from the scriptures as well when creating this movie. You know, let's see, you know, I'm gonna just keep it to the point. If you bros want to watch the movie, you can watch the movie. You know, either, you know, you can rent out the movie on Amazon Prime or something like that, or you know, just wait for it to be released on. I think it might be on Disney Plus as well for free. Well, I say for free, but you still gotta pay a subscription for it. But nevertheless, that's the key quote. Everything they've built will fall. In fact, let me play it.
You got that one from the Bible.
Or the Bible got it from him.
I am here now. I'm for you.
Wherever this being was, he always had 4 followers he would imbue with power.
Like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. You got that one from the Bible.
Or the Bible got it from him.
Which, of course, that's a prideful statement, because you know all things really originate from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and of course the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua are rooted from the Bible. So really, if anything, despite it being a fictional scenario, you know, it would have been rooted from the scriptures. That's the reality.
What is it?
Oh God, he can control all of us.
The world needs the X-Men.
That's why I'm here. To fight.
And by the way, them X-Men, I'm laughing because it's like now I'm analyzing the trailer now. But those X-Men represent the remnant, man. Isaiah 10 and verse 20 to 21. The elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Not all of us can control our powers.
Then don't. This is war.
Everything they built will fall, and from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one.
That's the key quote. From the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. That was a powerful movie, man. Well, the trailer at least was powerful. Well, each to their own opinion. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah, Yahara Tazah. You know, you found it edifying, and once more, double honors to the great Muslim apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.